My name is Cynthia, brought to you by Prose Nigeria. Do not always forget to click the link on your YouTube, and of course join us on all our social media platforms. Of course, you know what we're talking about. Road to the 2023 general elections. We have Emiloko, we have Unifier, and then we have the other man who the youth love. Well, all of these people, it's not as if the youth don't love them, but it's almost looking like young people are tilting towards a particular person. And that's the essence of what this conversation is about, because to make people understand that yes, young people are also very, very involved. I mean, for the first time in a long while, young people are so vested in the political drama of this nation as it is unfolding. So we are here to talk about the good, the bad, and most definitely the ugly. Not to forget the funny aspect too.
The doings need the help of God. The doings is do does not enter the ins.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know that as a young man you are very vested in it. No, it's not saying you don't get work, you get your own work, but you are very vested in it.
It's part of the hostel.
It's part of
the hostel that we are doing.
So we'd like to start with let's say we have the Unifier, we have the Emiloko. Now the Emiloko is what we remember him more.
Yes.
The Emiloko.
Making it for me. Emiloko.
So before now, many people didn't have to say that there's gonna be somebody else coming like this, and then at some point the whole thing changed, and then we have somebody, because like I always used to say that in this election we are faced between the devil and the blue and the Red Sea. Nobody is a saint, but this is a decision we have to make. Definitely. And I will say this again. In 2015 we made a decision because we felt that Jonathan wasn't, we had to make the decision, and we're happy we chose somebody. But fast forward to 2019, it was like a bone in our neck. We didn't really make a choice when it comes to 2019 general election.
No.
But 2015 we made a choice.
Yes.
So now we have another opportunity to make a choice, not a bone in our neck this time. How would you describe the feeling as a young person? How would you describe the political feeling in the minds of young people?
Everybody is tired, whether you like it or not. Everybody is tired. Even the people who are members of the ruling party are tired, and those in the opposition are tired, and the young ones, the youngies, are also tired. Now the truth of the matter is that everyone seems to want to have a price, and that is going to affect us if we do not nip it in the bud in the coming elections. Because the person who is telling you he wants to vote for candidate A, who you are seeing some of the issues around candidate A, would read out to you some ethnic sentiment or some religious sentiment, and in some cases might have been induced. Do you understand? Now let's build up from the primaries. A lot of people have said, and I buy that opinion, let's look into this delegate system really well. The problem we're having, first of all, is from our selection process of who flies the flag of the party. That's the problem. I mean, we saw this issue that there's no dollar now, but it was primaries that caused it. If you go, this issue that, and this thing is, they don't want to accept the truth that they are responsible. How do you carry such volume of dollars to share during the primaries, and you don't expect that dollars price will go up? I know one man who was doing his book publishing, and he had some dollars in his DOM account, so he wanted to withdraw so he can change and pay his publisher. And then he went to up to 4 or 5 banks. They could not give him dollars. There was no dollars. So that is an economic issue that we're looking at, first of all. Secondly, these guys have mopped up all this money, influenced all of the delegates, influenced the people who control the delegates. There are some very, very pure facts that we have that if we say these things, some people think that it's a lie. Some people were giving as much
We
as
want to say.
some people were giving as much as $1 million in the APC convention. As much as $1 million.
Wow.
Not a state, not a group, one person for lobby. Now, when you look at all these processes, and then you see the production of the candidates, I mean, you now know that truly some people don't have this country at heart. Even the people who are stepping down, I was seeing, because I followed both primaries. I stayed up late. I've had interest in the political scene since I was 13. I can remember reading my first ever convention was sitting down in the parlor with my mom and watching 2003 PDP convention. So I have had interest. All the conventions of major parties I've followed since then till date. I followed both parties. You see able-bodied men. Governor Fayemi. Dimeji Bankole, former speaker. Amosu. Able-bodied, agile men stepping down for a candidate who they call a father, a leader, who has built men, who has done this. If he has built men enough, let him build one man too. He has built to the point that he built the current vice president. Let him build one man too. And you see, there's something about king making. In king making, honestly, in the laws of king making, a kingmaker never becomes a king. He stays in the art of king making for the rest of his life and earns that respect as a kingmaker. There's usually a problem when a kingmaker enforces someone to become the king. Now we saw also in the primaries, because I'm trying to read out to you the intricacies that happened in the primaries and post primaries. We saw also in the primaries where the Emilokon, that's where it came out from. When he visited the Ogun delegates and told them in Yoruba that he was the one that made the president. So it is his turn. Egbekini, if we give it to me, it's my turn now. That is where that word came out. Emilokon, it's my turn, give it to me. Then he pointed sheepishly to the governor who sat behind him. Said, "Elei, this one." When he was running after me, I made him governor to this one. A whole governor. Daddy, he was supposed to be a grandfather. They put him this one. I made him governor. He ran to me. In your right was said all those things. And then when we now finish that, we now go to the PDP. The PDP had a chance to show that they were ready to come back and take power. All the PDP's time since 1999, they had an unofficial zoning policy which has held the party for so long. That is, it's a gentleman agreement. And I've always admired the PDP for the ability to share power. Let me give you an example. In 2015, when PDP lost, no, in 2019, when Atiku lost to Buhari, now the PDP had the minority positions in the National Assembly to share. Minority leader, deputy, minority whip, deputy, and some other positions. When they shared it, they discovered that there's no woman in this thing, and there's no Muslim in this thing. That already shared it though. Do you know the PDP came back, called all of them, then spoke to two people, maybe like one person say, we give you minority something, please step aside, let's pick this woman to be there. Call on that guy, please step aside, let's pick this Northern Muslim to be there. That's how the PDP share positions to include a woman and a Northern Muslim. That is how they did this thing. So where is that sense of reasoning in the PDP that they have fielded a particular candidate from a region back to back? It's now time to respect the zoning structure. They are now throwing it open if it's not money. And you cannot take Wike out of this money sharing. Oh no, Wike use money to finish the PDP. Wike use money to own. You use money to own the structure of PDP. You can't take it away. Yes, you give it to Wike because at the time when PDP was falling apart in 2015, he was the one standing for them. He had the resources, he had the clout, he installed the chairman Secondus. He had it. So when he was tired of Secondus, he kicked Secondus out and with his resources and his clout brought in Ayu, a man who had gone on retirement, a man who soon become a great grandpa. Ayu, an old hand politician that he should be resting in retirement. They want to bring him out. Somebody in his early 70s, bring him out to make him chairman. Same thing with what's their name? APC. Want to bring 73 or something 4-year-old former governor of Nasarawa State and brought him again to chairman. So you see that these people they don't send. Now after doing all these things, they now brought out 2 very old candidates. Just if it's about age, we understand. Yes, we have Donald Trump, who led in his 60s. We have some other guys across the world who have led Angela Merkel. All of them, we have one of them, you know. So, but before you rush, I'll give that example. Look at the country.
Okay.
Structure.
Sucre is walking us down some aspects that we need to have before. I'm sure he has some bombs that he has not yet. He's still arranging the crack. Anyway, just there. It's still Wahala Unwrapped. My name is Cynthia. I am coming back with Sucre. We have more to talk about. Let's talk about Peter Obi. It's almost like he is ticking the boxes. It seems he's ticking the boxes. And lots of Nigerians, young people especially, because my focus is on the young people. You're not holding your Wahala card.
Because truly there's Wahala.
You know, it's almost like he's ticking all the right boxes. You know, he's saying almost all the right things.
And everything we want to hear.
Exactly. And he's saying all the things that young people want to hear. Because if you look at young people are actually tired, you know, from the NSAS, so the state of unemployment, insecurity, everything is just not right. So he's saying the right thing. But then you know what it is when people say so many juicy things. There's always a tendency for them not to be able to meet up with the things they say. And I mean, I think we are both Christians. The Holy Scripture says, in the multitude of words, you find small things in between. Do you think that Peter Obi is as trustworthy as it looks?
Okay, so first of all, we'll start with saying, first of all, PDP missed a chance with Peter Obi. They missed a very big chance. And right now, if they are truthful, they will tell themselves the truth that they missed that chance. That's one. 2, Peter Obi is that trustworthy. Now, when he speaks, we see facts, and like the cliche he's always known with, go and verify. But some of these verifications, when you do that, they don't always, like, I remember when he mentioned something about what he left in the account. Yes.
But when you went to verify, it wasn't what he said he left.
No, the truth is, at what point, don't forget that this particular issue of what he left behind, when he just left office in 2014, a media house, a big media house, had invited his then commissioner for finance or so, and interviewed him, and he mentioned the same thing. Current Taraba State Governor, during the tour when every PDP aspirants were going around to visit delegates, said when Peter Obi visited Taraba that he flew into Oka, and saw the airport Willie Obiano was building, and he asked Willie Obiano, how did you build this kind of airport with money when on the ground? And we were not told him it is the money my predecessor left
but money
that I'm using to build.
But if he says the money my predecessor left, doesn't mean it's 95 billion.
No, now, as human beings, we can get our figures right. Wrong sometimes. And then let's even assume he left half of that. Okay. He's not okay. He said 95. When we went to check, it is 50.
About 35 or so.
Are we? How many governors can say that proudly?
Okay, that's the angle you're looking at it.
How many governors can say that proudly? He mentioned some statistics about our unemployment rate and our capital per index, all those things. He missed it by a few percentages. They are figures. That's somebody's dad. How many young people have such kind of figures in their head? But I mean, let's give him a bit of doubt. But what he's saying, is he wrong? Is he lying?
Let me ask you a question, Secret. For a man who is so particular about production and all of that, but
yes,
he's more into importation.
I like that part. Why would he be into importation? The government of the day, since he began importing, enabled importation. What would you have him do?
But if
how many production companies have survived in this country? No, it's true. So if the government of the day is so lukewarm, is not creative enough to give us an enabling environment for production, and then because of that issue, exports now or import now grows, why won't we venture in it? It's business. Is it legitimate? Was he importing cocaine? No. Was he importing weed? No. He was importing staple food that the government have failed to make production viable. And if a man has done that, it means that he has seen the loopholes. Don't forget that it was Obasanjo's government who banned the importation of sugar. And then that led to the rise in the growth of Dangote sugar. The same thing with cement. Now we have a better cement and we have Dangote cement.
Dangote cement, yes.
If you look at it, the government have been over time been specific in some things.
Yes.
If the government were serious, they would be specific on almost everything and give an enabling environment. Me and you are seeing what happened last year with young Nigerians who are into fintech and into crypto. We are seeing it. Small business, small exchange, small hustle. You come and you crumble it. But you cannot look for how funds have been moving to fuel banditry and terrorism. But small crypto or small something I trade, you have blocked it. So even Binance, the world's most popular exchange platform, has cut off Nigeria from that. There were young people who were making money from that means, legitimate money. So is that your problem? No, your problem is find out how terrorism is being financed. Find out how the monies are passing through when we are living that. I don't know if you heard the new one NBC has done, that they've banned foreign models and foreign voiceovers. Akon.
Yes.
They banned foreign. Is that our problem? It's good. It's true.
I was about to mention
it's
that.
True. It's fine. Let's use our homegrown. It's true. But is that our issue? That thing now will stop insecurity.
It's not our issue.
Is that our problem? So you see that when people talk about he said he wants to turn us from production to for consumption, and he's been importing. Yes, he imported because the government of the day enabled such business to thrive. If a government didn't enable that business to thrive and he imported, it would be contraband, and then he'll be punished because it will be against the laws of the land.
But the thing, but the question that a lot of other young people who are probably not seeing it the way you're seeing it as aspect to the case of Obi, they would want to say, okay, fine, if Obi is more of the production person and then he wants to promote the idea of homegrown things and reduce importation, then now you have known a system to be like this in this country, and then even as a governor, what did you do about it when you were a governor in your state?
Okay.
In terms of the importation,
yes.
Okay, but at least you had some powers.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
What did you do about that? Also, they might also want to ask that. Okay, fine. If you notice that this is what has been happening, at the helm of affairs, why then did you not? Because he has held several positions. He has held positions
when?
No, not like so much position. Do you get?
I'll answer that.
Not like other people that we know that have held positions. But I still think for a person who is so upright, let me use upright, in quote. It's like he's been enjoying from that failed system.
Okay, first off, you said, as a governor, what did he do? Abi? I hope you know that in this country, a governor, first of all, is referred to as the chief security officer of a state. That one we all know. But we all know that the commissioner of a state does not take orders from the governor. He takes orders from the IG or the DIG above him. So that one is enough proof to tell you that the governors are limited. That's one. Two, as a governor of a state, will he say, okay, I want to don't import so goods into my state? No. Why? Because he invested in things that would affect the state literally. One was education. In his 8 years as governor, Anambra State did marvelously well in WAEC and NECO. We saw it. He handed schools back to the missionaries who were with the schools originally. And the schools did very well. We saw how he cut costs. That's how he could save money in a country where governors don't save money. Don't forget that Okonjo-Iweala was it her book or so? Yes, one of them. She said that when Nigeria was making a lot of money from the oil boom when Jordan was president, we made a lot of money. She came to the Nigerian Governors Forum and told them, let us save this money. Every governor said no, share it, let's ball. Share it, why would you save it?
Let's ball.
Only P2B said no, let's save. They said no, share it. And they shared it. She wanted the whole money to be saved in ECA, the SS crude account. Everybody said share it. Yeah, you can't do what to do with their money. P2B said no, let's save it. Only him. You know, majority carries the day now. They voted, he was the only one. They shared the money.
So
he took his own and went to go and save.
So in other words, what if I understand you correctly? In other words, there was a failed system, or there is a failed system.
Yes.
And he also benefited from that failed system, or rather, he is enjoying from that failed system.
Every business is a business because of a failed system. Yes, every business is a business because of a need that was not provided, either by government or by nature. So somebody has to do that business.
Okay.
Now, when you say he has held as many positions, I mean, let's be frank. He has been a chairman of a couple of banks in his early 30s and ventured into politics for the first time in 28 or 26 or 2006 thereabouts. His first ever time, and became governor. 8 years, 2014 he was done. He was appointed honorary economic advisor to Jonathan, where he did not collect. It means he was not under any pay or salary. Honorary. He had his expertise to advise the government on economic issues. So if you look at it, he's not really had so much office like that, unlike those other people who have been close, ate and dined, even gave us the power that has made us powerless.
Oh wow. Okay, so at this point, I'm coming back. When I come back, I'm going to be discussing with Sukri. And this time, we're going to be focusing on His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. We won't discuss a Miloko today. No, we won't discuss a Miloko right now. We'll talk about His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. And at least, you cannot tell me that there's only bad things around him. Okay? It's still Wahala Unwrapped, Prose Nigeria. See you. Wahala Unwrapped. My name is Cynthia and it is powered by Prose Nigeria. Don't forget to like all our social media pages and of course click subscribe to our YouTube channel. I still have Sukri with me and of course we want to focus on His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and well, the good, the bad, the ugly. And what are the chances, what are the odds? Sukri, what do you think?
He contested the president then with Abiola in another party. You know, he's had a history from coming and everything. But they're picking it up from when he won governorship for Adamawa State and they all won the primaries to run and then he was picked up by Obasanjo to be VP. You know, he had a good economic sense. You know, someone who chaired the Economic Council as stated in the Constitution. You give him, you know, credit for that. And also even though some people pick holes in his privatization you know policy, but we're not all perfect. He had his own issues with his privatization thing, but Atiku,
you're not holding your wahala.
Okay. I'm not holding my wahala. We all have our wahalas. So but Atiku has shown consistency and has shown some level of gentlemanness. You can give it to him. Now, Atiku also has some level of economic sense, having handled the economy for 8 years as vice president and having run successful businesses post-government.
Yes.
You know, you want to give it to him. But again, the issue would be age. I mean, the issue would be, must you run? The issue would be, must you be president? You know, a lot of loopholes and everything around his name, around his wealth acquisition, around corruption and all this. Even what his principal, his boss had to say about him. These are kind of things that would really affect him, you know. But, I mean, the 2023 elections, February 25th, let's see how it goes. It will be a lot of, it will be it will be shocking, it will be surprising, but I'm pitching, or I'm looking at, or I'm prophesying either an Obi or an Atiku.
Okay, so an Emilokon is not in the picture.
No, he's not in the picture. He will come distant third.
But as a young person, do you believe that for every vote, from the calculations, okay, from the calculations of what is on ground, now that we have a third force, which is Peter Obi, you do know, or do you believe that for every vote that is given to Peter Obi is giving Emilokon, Tinubu, we are giving Tinubu an upper hand?
No, I don't believe.
Why?
Because the people who will vote for Peter Obi will be largely first-time voters, largely Gen Zs, either who just turned 18, who just turned 20, or who are probably in their early 20s and just decided to go and get their voters card. That block that have never voted, that 15 to 20 million that have never attempted to vote in this country, or they just turned 18, are the ones who would give Peter Obi their vote.
Now, do you
majorly?
Think now this is the part? We've had 1 million march that happened in Nassau City, even though a person that was there said there were not up to 1 million people at that place.
But that crowd was massive.
Exactly. But then again, what is the guarantee that all those people that are going for all the several marches and all this movement, what is the guarantee that they have their PVCs?
That's what we always hear when they want to make us feel discouraged.
No.
Say, how you show your PVC?
No
problem. Let's leave it like that. They don't have PVC.
I'm a young person, and I definitely want the good. I mean, geez, do you know what things are selling in the markets? Even to buy pad self is expensive.
See,
to buy food is expensive.
That's what they are saying. They want to use and discourage us.
Expensive.
No problem. We don't have PVC. We are doing match. No. Does
No.
anyone have PVC?
Let me see your PVC. Let me see your PVC.
It's my car. I will show you. I get them. No, we joke.
Why you don't bring your car? Come this table. Put this.
My pure. I voted in 2015. In 2019. I will vote now. 2015. I did not vote, honestly. But I voted 2019. I voted. I will vote now.
Okay. In fact, let's finish up.
There are some of my friends who, our friendship was really threatened until they took it seriously to go and get their PVC. I'm not saying vote for who I vote for. Who you vote for is your business, but show me a sense of responsibility and go and queue up, suspend your day, queue up, take the paint and get your PVC. If you like, don't vote that day, get it.
Okay, so finally now, this is it still on Atiku. Now you are saying that you're not really bothered if an Atiku or Obi, but what you don't want is Emilokon.
Not just Emilokon. We don't want anything APC again.
Okay.
APC have tried. We have seen what they have done for 8 years. We've seen it, Abi. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you for coming.
You can go. Nothing again.
So you are open to say, okay, fine. Let's if whoever God say, okay, we are going. Our own is to vote.
Right. This is somewhere. If Atiku wins, PW would have a place in his government.
No. No. If you, Atiku picked Peter Obi in 2019 as his running mate.
Yes.
That is to say, he knows the value of Peter Obi. He sees Obi is a very wonderful person who has the knowledge and all of that. And there's no bad blood
between them.
Exactly.
So don't be surprised if Atiku wins. Peter Obi will have a very significant position in his government.
That is to say, they are two people in love, but they are afraid to show their relationship in public. Can we describe this kind of lovers?
Yes, and also party intricacies have caused this division, and you can't blame Atiku. He wants to get.
Are we going to call it pressure that he was not prepared for?
Yes, you can say so. I agree. Peter Obi had some level of pressure he was not prepared for, but he had to just sit up, man up,
and rest the occasion.
Yes, truly, he did. Even him did not believe the clout he's seen. He didn't believe it.
And do you think that he'll be able to handle it? Look at the fact that it's something he wasn't exactly prepared for. And the good now this is the last part. Now I like the fact that there's no bad blood between these two men. He still they both respect each other as okay, we know your capacities as humans, do you understand? And there's a high tendency for them to even work together.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Very high tendency.
Now, but do you think that he made a mistake by leaving his principal? Do you see that he will just take a little longer
on one hand,
to negotiate things?
On one hand, but the best he would have gotten was a VP slot,
which is not bad at. I mean, because I don't think His Excellency Atiku Abubakar would have. He would have played a very vital
Atiku
role
would have
in his
picked
government
him without looking twice.
Exactly.
As VP running mates. In fact, we saw how
there were already moves for that.
We saw how they delayed to pick a running mate because Obi was not in the picture. If Obi was there, immediately Atiku, as he was saying his speech, that on that convention, he would have just picked him the next day. He wouldn't delay. But a movement is rising. Young people are tired. They want a blood that is not contaminated with history and long story. They just want somebody who they can relate with.
But you know that sometimes it's not about the new angel.
They still feel that Tinubu and Atiku just wants a life ambition to fulfill that has been their in their mind for years. But it's not like that. It's not me you use to fulfill your life ambition. It's not me you use to. Why is it the country that all of us are in?
But on the brighter side, don't you think that if I know that for Atiku, if you look at the dynamics of the way he functions, that is not really the picture for him.
Critically thinking about it,
yes.
Not looking at the ways these Gen Zs are saying it. These Gen Zs, and you don't blame them for how they see things. They've seen their elder brothers struggle in this country. They've seen their parents struggle. These Gen Zs that are shouting were still in their father's house when we had bad leaders. So the parents were still struggling and feeling them. Now they are the verge of looking for their own bread. That's why they're angry. But critically looking at it, a Peter Obi would have
complimented,
would have stayed. Even if he resigned from the race, stayed in the party. Obviously, you would have picked that VP. Cleanly, you'd have picked it.
Yes.
Then picking it, work as VP.
And before you know,
all of us will know. The whole world knows that after Atiku, he would have fallen on you.
And that would have given a chance to the East.
Yes.
To get what they have always wanted.
But the truth is, even if Atiku wins now and probably gives him a significant position, and say Atiku finishes, and Obi wants to come up, and Okowa will revolt. Because Okowa, who has been a senator, who has been two-time governor,
he will feel cheated.
Yes,
because he will say, when this one left, the prodigal son left and I was here.
Yes.
Now you want to give me a grand welcome.
With
that, I would say it is quite dicey. Young people are wondering. You think that young people don't understand the way the politics is working, but they actually do, contrary to what some people think. It's Wahala Unwrapped. Thank you, Sucre. I definitely know that you've gotten to learn a thing or two from this particular episode and also been able to laugh a little in between. And do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click below. And of course, make sure that you follow us on all our social media platforms. Like I always say, we give you heartwarming content. My name is Cynthia, and this is powered by Prose Nigeria.